Gonna try something a bit different in today's video. So got a new camera, so hopefully the footage and the audio sounds all good. But 2 videos ago, I mentioned how I overcame game collecting burnout, and a key part of that was me basically selling a couple of games and bits from the collection that I no longer wanted. So took them to CEX and they ended up getting a nice £330 CEX voucher. So the only logical thing to do was to go back to CEX and pick up more games, because that's what we do as game collectors. So in today's video, I'm going to go through the pickups, and I'm also going to show footage of the 4 CEX stores I went to. I'm in a good location for retro game shops and CEXs. I'm in a 7 to 8 mile radius of 4 retro game shops and 4 CEXs, so definitely in a hot spot for retro game collecting. So hopefully you enjoy the footage, and then we'll come back to the pickups. Right, starting with Hellzone CEX, we've got some nice limited edition PlayStation 4 consoles in the window. We've also got this nice God of War statue for the God of War Special Edition. Right, jumping into Hellzone CEX, got this Yakuza 6 for PS4, but cardboard was absolutely battered, so left that one behind. Had an itching to play through the Assassin's Creed games, the older ones, so looking out for the Ezio collection, but Hellzone didn't have it today. Next up we got Starbreeze CEX, and we got Deadpool in the window for £70. Also got this pretty cool PS5 controller in purple. I'm not a controller collector, but if I was, I'd definitely pick this one up. Jumping into Starbreeze, we got this real nice Persona 5 Steelbook. Already got this in the collection, but if I didn't, definitely would have picked it up. Absolute bargain for £12. Unbelievable game this is. Highly recommend it, guys. Heading over to the PS3 section, got this pretty cool Final Fantasy 13 2 cardboard sleeve. Wasn't in the best of shape, so I left that one behind. They also had the Metal Gear Solid 4 sleeve, but this was absolutely battered, but I definitely want to add this to the collection at some point in the future. Jumping over to Merry Hill CX, got Roller Rose for the PS2. I can't believe that this has come down so much in price. I remember never seeing this before, but now it's in 10 or 20 copies, but still quite expensive at £375. Heading inside to Merry Hill, got this awesome Last of Us Part 2 Steelbook for the PS4. Nice find for £20. Already got this in the collection, but would have definitely picked this up if I didn't. Then the first of many really expensive games that Merry Hill seemed to leave on the shop floor for all the shoplifters. So we got Deadpool for the PS4 for £70. And now I want you guys to keep a running total in your head, because these are all on the shop floor. It's absolutely mental how Merry Hill operate their shop floor. Got Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright for 3DS for £65. Oh man, this one really hurts. Got Radiant Historia, Perfect Chronology for the 3DS for £120, but it's a cover reprinted. Would definitely pick this up if it was in stock and it wasn't a reprinted cover. I really hope this wasn't nicked from the shop floor. Just look at the state of this. Got this £120 3DS game on the shop floor. Got the manual in there for the shoplifter so that you can sell it and make a profit on eBay. Absolutely mental. Let me know in the comments below what's the most expensive game you've ever seen on the shop floor, but this definitely shouldn't be here. Should be behind the shop counter, especially when Merry Hill have got £2 Steelbook DVDs behind there. Moving over to the PS3 section, got Ratchet & Clank HD. Thought I already owned this in the collection, so I left it behind. It was complete with a manual, so I'll definitely be sure to pick this up at some point in the future. Also got the Sly trilogy, which is quite expensive now. I think that's £70. I found this pinball game that you don't see all too often for £32. Pretty interesting. Also got X-Men Wolverine, which looks like an absolute brutal game. And then the games I've actually got behind the counter, we've got Haunting Grounds for PS2 at £155. I was so tempted to pick this up today, but £155, quite expensive for a game. I'm not too sure what it's about, so I'll be sure to do more research into it to see if it's a horror game I want to play in the future. Decent amount of retro, PS1, Dreamcast, Super Nintendo, but nothing else that caught my eye. And then moving over to the final CEX, nothing happening outside of Dudley, so heading on inside. Got a pretty decent PS Vita collection here. PS Vita games are becoming harder to find in CEXs, so pretty cool to see these. That Metal Gear Solid collection for PS3 was quite tempting, but don't need it. I've already got the HD remaster on PS5. This was a shame. We got Sin and Punishment for the Wii, £22. Would have picked this one up, but might not be clear on the camera, but it was massively water damaged, had a wavy effect to it, so I left that one behind and I'll pick it up some point in the future, hopefully. Hopefully you enjoyed that CX footage. It was a blast going around. It was just old school. What I used to do was, I used to go onto the CX app, put in the 4 stores, and then go for the various collections and consoles that I collect for and just check what was in stock. But this game hunted it old school, didn't check any stocks, didn't check on any wish list or anything, just went there and just saw what they had. And as you saw from the footage, pretty good selection in the 4 CXs I went to. I went to Halesowen, Starbridge, Maryhill and Dudley. Those were the 4 CXs I went to, and pretty good stuff. I got 4 games in total, and I've also got 2 games that have come from CEX's e-commerce store. So first game I picked up was Assassin's Creed Chronicles from Halesowen. This is essentially a 2.5D side-scroller Assassin's Creed game. I know I mentioned before I don't like side-scrollers, but I do absolutely love my stealth games, and hopefully this goes back to what makes an Assassin's Creed game an Assassin's Creed game, because I feel like Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla, they just lost the soul of what makes an Assassin's Creed game an Assassin's Creed game. There wasn't really an emphasis on stealth, and it just went too far down the RPG route of just being about equipment and numbers, and wasn't really for me. So hopefully that's going to deliver. And for £15, it's a fairly uncommon game. You don't see it all too often. Next up, I picked up Back for Blood from Starbridge CEX. Got this nice steelbook. Only cost me £6, so made sense to pick it up in decent condition. Back for Blood, what a letdown. I remember when I first saw the gameplay, it looked absolutely amazing. Massive Left 4 Dead fan, Left 4 Dead 2, and I was hoping that Back 4 Blood was going to be a more modern version of Left 4 Dead, but it wasn't to be. But for £6, I'll give it a blast and give my own opinion on it, because I know it didn't get very good reviews, but for £6 can't complain. Nice steelbook. I mentioned on that collecting burnout video that I do want to collect more steelbooks, just because I've seen tons of collectors on YouTube that have got amazing shelves listed with steelbooks. So I'm going to start adding steelbooks to the collection, but I'm not going to go crazy about them. I'm just going to pick them up as and when from CEX for an affordable price. So happy to have that in the collection. So next up, I picked up Rhapsody Mole Kingdom Chronicles on the Nintendo Switch. Cost me £32. And this is a remake of 2 old school JRPGs that came out. I believe the first one came out for DS, and it's very similar to a Disney film where everyone's singing, everyone's having a good time. Doesn't make any sense. Very much like a pantomime, but saw it on the shelf and it was in real nice condition. You saw on the footage, it had the manual. It said it's 7+ on there, but manual's got some dubious artwork in there for sure. But listen, I'm a JRPG collector. Anytime I see a JRPG that looks half interesting, I don't already have it in the collection, I'm going to be picking it up. So really happy to be adding that one. Then finally, sticking with JRPGs, the last game I picked up was Romancing Saga 2, the new game that came out from Square Enix back in October. Paid £45 for this from Dudley, which is quite expensive. It is still a fairly modern release, came out a couple of months ago. I don't really recommend rushing out to buy modern releases because they're only going to come down in price. Always recommend waiting 6 to 12 months and just playing for your backlog. There's no rush to pick up PS5 games. It's probably going to be the next game that I play through. It's essentially got the old school turn-based combat that Square Enix games are known for, but it's also got a more Western style to it. So essentially, you've got choice and consequence where, based on your decisions, you can kill people, you can have towns completely removed from the map, quests become unavailable. So it looks very interesting and quite different from traditional JRPGs, because they're normally very much stories that are on rails. You go from one story point to the next, and you don't really have a lot of agency in what you can do from A to B. And that's kind of why I like JRPGs, but looking forward to playing that at some point in the future. And then the two games that I picked up from the CEX online website were two very expensive games. So these two cost me $130 in total. Use vouchers, of course, but first one was 3D Dot Game Heroes, essentially a old school Zelda clone in the vein of Link's Awakening, Link to the Past. Love those old school Zelda games, Link's Awakening being one of my favourites. So I was looking forward to adding this to the collection, but unfortunately, no manual, so gonna have to go back and get a refund on that because it's a £60 game, and to not have a manual is unacceptable in my opinion for a £60 game. So gonna have to go back and spin the roulette wheel on that one. And then next game and the final game from the pickup was Lost Dimension on the PlayStation 3. Thankfully, this came in real nice condition. Came with a manual, disc is in perfect condition. PlayStation 3 games you don't really have to worry about because they're Blu-ray, so they last forever, but looking forward to giving that a blast at some point. So hopefully you enjoy this video. It's a bit different to what I've been doing lately. The last few months I've been focusing more on long form content, essay style videos, real, focus on scripting, making sure that they're best they can be, but I'm trying something a bit different now. I'm getting back out there, game collecting, going on game hunts, pickups, so I'm going to try this more vloggy style content. I'm going to take you along with the game hunts and got a new camera, so might as well give it a whirl trying to do this kind of content. And let me know in the comments below what you would have picked up from CEX. There was tons there that I could have picked up. Like I said, I had £330 on a voucher, and I could have picked up that Haunting Ground from Merry Hill. That was really tempting. I was going to pick up Ratchet and Clank on the PS3 from Merry Hill, but I wasn't too sure if I would have had it in the collection, but I don't. So next time I go up to that CEX store, I'll be sure to pick that up. But yeah, let me know what you would have picked up, and let me know what you think of this content. Is this something that you guys are interested in watching? I know a lot of content creators do CEX pickups, hauls. They do the footage of going around the store. So let me know if it's something you guys want to watch, because I'm definitely going to be looking to do more of that kind of content going forward. And we're at the end of Jan, so we're only a couple of months away from the car boot season. So we'll be getting back out there, hunting the car boot sales, hunting for those electronics, DVDs, Blu-rays, games, trying to get those sweet CEX vouchers. So stay tuned to the channel because we've got loads coming, got loads of game hunts coming your way. And I'm also planning on doing, fingers crossed, still in communication, but I'm also planning on doing some filming around the local game shop. They're currently in the process of doing a bit of renovation, getting some new displays, some new cabinets in there. So as and when that comes, I'll be sure to bring you guys along with me. So like I always say, good luck on your game hunts and collecting adventures. Take it easy, YouTube, and I'll catch you in the next one.